Hi everyone, good morning. What a great day for Canada.
We've got obviously a goof coming up. We've got many goofs coming up. When do they pick up the garbage in your community? Like different communities I've lived in, it's different days of the week. It must be Friday in this part of Ottawa because the Liberals are bringing out all the trash.
Oh, yeah.
This new cabinet is not fresh at all. Watch all of these dirty ladies, man. Oh, it's gross. It's fun to make fun of. It's terrible to watch as a Canadian. Good morning, bon matin. Check out these liberal...
If you are watching this film strip, then no doubt Canada is in grave danger.
Elbows out. Elbows up.
All right, in real time, we're going to try to watch this with you. I'm going to try to learn that skill. I think I can do it, so let's get it going. Here we go.
Hi everyone, good morning. What a great day for Canada. The Prime Minister said yesterday how humbled he was to be taking on his job, and that's exactly my feeling. I think that this is
I'm pretty sure she's just glad she won her seat.
Moment for Canada, a consequential moment. I'm absolutely confident that Mark Carney has already begun to be a consequential Prime Minister for Canada, someone who is committed to building Canada, and I'm really grateful and humbled to be part of his team. I'm especially excited about internal trade. This is something that Canadian economists, Canadian geeks have been talking about for decades. Entire books have been written about it. The IMF has estimated that lifting all barriers to internal trade will add as much as 4% to our GDP. That is a lot, and we need it right now. And I really believe this is a moment we can get it done. Internal trade has become sexy. It has. I know, it's funny, but yet...
It's not really that funny. When you say sexy, I say... Bleh.
True. You see premiers across the country really putting their shoulder to the wheel. Yesterday, after the cabinet announcement, I heard from a number of premiers who got in touch with me directly and said, let's go, let's do this. And transport, obviously, is a critical part of building Canada. So I'm humbled and grateful to be part of this. And I really think this is the moment. We have to seize this moment to get free trade in Canada done by Canada Day. You know, it reminds me a little bit of early learning and childcare. It was something that Canadian feminists had fought for 50 years. Everyone said it couldn't be done. They said there was no political support to do it. But then there was this moment, and we seized it, and we got it done. I believe that Mark Carney's government is going to do the same thing on internal trade.
That's a nice pearl necklace she wears. So we've got Melanie Joly, former Minister of Affairs, like the cocaine mule.
Ça me fait plaisir de vous voir. It's a pleasure to be here. First and foremost, I'm happy to be the new industry minister. I had the chance this morning to talk with Vic
She's wired.
from Ontario
Just watch this. I saw it earlier. She's wired.
already, and to talk about the Honda issue. Our goal is definitely to make sure that we're in solution mode. My goal is before the end of the day to be able to talk to the head of Honda. To all people that are in the auto sector, my goal is to make sure that I'll be there for you, fighting for you, and we'll make sure that we'll be in solution mode. So, en français. Yes, okay, just. So, we know that we're in a trade war with the US. We know there's a lot of uncertainty coming out and unpredictability coming out from the White House. My goal, and that's why I wanted to become the new Minister of the Industry, it is to make sure that notwithstanding all the shenanigans coming out of the White House, we can create economic certainty here in the country, that we can attract investments, that we can create jobs. It's a huge undertaking. And we know right now that this trade war is what? It's an economic threat against our country. Now, what are the consequences of this trade war? Is definitely jobs in Canada. So that's why I wanted to be going from the diplomatic front to the economic front of this war. I'm sorry, I'm not over. And at the same time,
I need a bathroom break. I'm not over.
I'm being able to be in solution mode. I've already been in contact with the Ontario economic.
Do you have concerns about the other battery plants in Windsor right now, and the VW plant as well? Did you talk to him about those projects too?
My goal is to make sure that we're able to get to good deals, to finalize deals, and at the same time to attract ones. What I did also this morning was to be in contact with the Minister of the Economy of Europe, who's a dear friend, former Foreign Minister of France. So we're already in conversation to make sure that we can create that partnership, that economic partnership between Europe and Canada.
The Prime Minister says we always have to plan for the worst. If the auto plants move south, can they be retooled? Can you redevelop the auto plants?
So I've already been in contact with the CEOs of GM, Ford, and also Stellantis. My goal is to be able to have good conversations with them before the end of the week. My message to the workers in the auto sector is we're there for you. We know that there's anxiety. We know you're concerned about losing shifts. We know we were concerned about losing your jobs, and we will always fight for your jobs. Notwithstanding that, we also have a $2 billion worth of support for the industry, the auto industry, the steel and aluminum industries that are affected by the trade war. One of my first decisions will be also to make sure that
it can't just be me. Like, she's wired. Like, I always make jokes about blow. It doesn't need to be blow. It could be Adderall, could be, maybe it's just hormones or something.
the workers can benefit from these investments. Merci. Merci beaucoup.
Check out this chick. Oh my God, this is embarrassing as well.
Mr. Poilievre saying that you epitomize failing upwards with your new portfolio as Justice Minister.
You know, it's fascinating. He spends an awful lot of time on me, and one of the things that I heard loud and clear in my constituency over the course of the election campaign that we've just come through is one of the reasons that people were just not comfortable with Mr. Poilievre as a potential Prime Minister is he spends so much of his energy slinging mud against his opponents rather than proposing ideas that are actually going to help families who live in communities like mine. I'm going to focus on the work that we get to do, not what my opponents may have to say to pursue their own political
But does he not have a point, though, with immigration getting out of control and
Sure that the
portfolio as Justice Minister?
Merci beaucoup.
All right, let's check out what this chick has to say.
Your new portfolio as Justice Minister.
You know, it's fascinating. He spends an awful lot of time on me, and one of the things that I heard loud and clear in my constituency over the course of the election campaign that we've just come through is one of the reasons that people were just not comfortable with Mr. Poilievre as a potential Prime Minister is he spends so much of his energy slinging mud against his opponents rather than proposing ideas that are actually going to help families who live in communities like mine. I'm going to focus on the work that we get to do, not what my opponents may have to say to pursue their own political.
But does he not have a point, though, with immigration getting out of control under your watch, and with housing prices still going up under your watch?
Well,
does he not have a point?
Let's look at what actually took place on the housing portfolio. On the very first committee appearance I made, I openly acknowledged that we had been living through a housing crisis, and we got to work to launch the largest suite of housing reforms.
This guy is total goof. Like, everything he's touched has turned to mud, and now he's mud slinging at Poilievre. Like, it's old news. They played a dirty trick. The Liberals did very well here in Atlantic Canada. It's very embarrassing. Anyways, Sean Fraser's a clown.
We've seen in over half a century. My colleagues from all parties, including the Conservative parties, actually voted me to be the most effective minister and best parliamentarian in the House. So from my perspective, it's clearly motivated by some axe he has to grind against me personally, but it really doesn't bother me too much. He's made his entire career out of a habit of slinging mud against his opponents. I hope to build my career on doing work that's going to help my community.
When you sat down, different from Mr. Trudeau's. How do you feel the leadership is already different?
Well, look, I'm about to go sit in my first cabinet meeting with the new Prime Minister, and I'll have a clearer line of sight, I suppose, after that. But my experience in the first few weeks and over the course of the election campaign is there is a relentless focus on the economy, strengthening Canada's ability to compete on the international stage and making sure that we actually stand up to the United States government in a way that's going to defend Canada's interests. It's this singular focus on the issues that are clearly top of mind for people who live in communities like mine that shows a different corporate culture, so to speak.
When you decided not to run again, you said it was because you wanted to spend more time with your family, and you said when you were coming back again that you worked out a deal with Mr. Carney that you'd be able to, have a little bit more work-life balance. How does that jive with your new role?
Well, I expect what you're going to see is when the House of Commons is not sitting, given the nature of the portfolio, a lot of the stakeholders we have are less interested in having you attend groundbreakings, the openings of new buildings that you may have funded, and are quite accustomed to having meetings virtually. So I anticipate during constituency weeks I'm going to be based in my hometown a little more than I was before. There may be an opportunity, depending on what's going on in the House, to avail myself, not all the time of course, but once in a while, of the virtual abilities to participate in the House of Commons proceedings. So we're going to figure some of this out as we go. I'm very proud to have the support of my family to come back. My kids in particular are very excited, even though the little guy's only 3 years old. My daughter at 9 has a better understanding. And it's going to take work on my part, and I'm going to have to ensure that I can be both a good dad and a good MP at the same time.
Okay, so now we've got former Minister of Environment, the carbon tax guy, Stephen Guilbeault, being all Harry Potter-like right here. He's a magician.
She says it's too close of a tie to
Turning
you.
your
What do you say
money into taxes.
in response to that?
I think we will have to agree to disagree with Premier Smith. We think that protecting the environment, fighting climate change is important. Lots of Canadians believe that as well. It was a central element of our platform, and we will make good on our commitments.
The Prime Minister last night on TV seemed to open the door to potentially changing the emissions cap or the IAA to get projects built. What do you think of what he said?
Well, these are important conversations that we will need to have in the coming weeks.
Premier Smith is saying that you're anti-pipeline still. What do you say in response to her concerns just broadly about the cabinet, and how do you deal with national unity? How do you address that right now?
So on pipelines, people should remember that we bought a pipeline, Trans Mountain, and that is only used right now about 40% capacity. So I think before we start talking about building an entire new pipeline, maybe we should maximize the use of existing infrastructure. And the Canadian Energy Regulator, as well as the International Energy Agency, are telling us that probably by 2028, 2029, demand for oil will peak globally, and it will also peak in Canada. So as far as I know, there are no investors right now, there are no companies that are saying that they want to build an east-west pipeline. And as you know, these things are built by companies, not governments.
Was a mistake in the first place.
So now this is Richard Valdez.
Carney cabinet.
I think what Prime Minister Mark Carney was really trying to do is focus
Good from afar, far from a good.
on, of course, the challenges with the U.S. President Trump, and of course facing the election. What's more important is that it is reinstated now, and I'm really looking forward to continue to advocate for women, gender equality, and of course youth.
What are going to
your priorities? Well, first, getting to work. As you see, we've had many new exciting members who are here, hearing from them and hearing what's important in their constituencies. So it's really about getting back to work and focusing on continuing to move this file forward.
The Liberals lost a lot of ridings in 905, and some were very close. And some of the analysis is that the Liberals didn't take crime seriously enough. We see a lot of focus on that in terms of the secretaries of state and some of the cabinet titles. Do you think that the Liberals are going to be more focused on that this time around?
Absolutely. I mean, we remain and continue to be focused on addressing crime, and of course, with our platform, as you see, Prime Minister Mark Carney is going to. We, as a cabinet, will continue to focus on making sure we're focusing on addressing public safety concerns and issues with crime as well. Thank you so much.
Minister, have you been in touch with the Vancouver community after the Lapu tragedy?
Yes, absolutely. I actually, as soon as
They all do turn their backs on the reporters.
Campaign was over, I visited Vancouver and spent some time with the community there. My heart goes out to, of course, the victims and the survivors of the Lapu Lapu incident in the festival. My heart continues to go out with them. And right now, I think what's important for the community is that they continue to unite and work together to help the community at large get through this. Thank you so much.
How do you address national unity? Premier Smith said she's concerned about the environment.
It gets gross. Like Anita Anand has been minister of almost every department in the book, in the whole cupboard. Like, she's disgusting. Watch.
Prime Minister that's just been selected. How are you going to address that and bring the country together right now?
Well, she's so nasty to the reporters all the time. They have a job to do as well. Bitch.
Our focus is indeed to build a strong domestic economy, and that is going to necessitate increased cooperation nationally, and as you know, that also means eradicating barriers to trade, which Alberta itself has done very good work on over the past number of years. So I do hope that as a country, all provinces and territories will be able to come together to strengthen the domestic economy.
Few chicks have ruined Canada like in pieces as much as Anita Anand. She's a mess, guys. Like, old former Minister of Health. I think she did transportation. She was Secretary of Treasury when they gave out all the money.
One at a time, please. One at a time.
Est-ce que le Canada...
One at a time. I can't hear you.
Israel's blocking food and aid to Gaza. What do you think of that decision? And is the Canadian government doing anything to stop that?
We cannot allow the continued use of food as a political tool. The Prime Minister has been very clear about that. Over 50,000 people have died as a result of the aggression caused against the Palestinian and the Gazan people in Palestine. And using food as a political tool is simply unacceptable. And we need to continue to work towards a ceasefire. We need to ensure that we have a two-state solution, and Canada will continue to maintain that position.
Oh my goodness. Like, former leader of the House, McKinnon here, is another chick not worth listening to, but let's listen.
I'm working with the opposition parties in, a strong but still a minority government.
Well, I do want to say, look, first, how exciting it is to be back. This is a very short interval between an election and the return of Parliament. I know all parliamentarians will be very excited for the throne speech, a visit from King Charles, and I know that the government will be very clear about its priorities and its agenda.
Go, King Charles!
And I will be reaching out to my counterparts as soon as they're named. As far as I'm aware, I don't have a counterpart as yet, but as soon as I know who they are, I'll be talking to them.
So, hi everyone, good morning.
WTF. Here, here.
How many kids did you molest with Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah.
Do I have your attention now, Liberals and NDP? Do I have your attention now?
In Canadian federal politics, the Canucks are represented by two separate yet unequal groups. The globalists who sold out and the opposition trying to salvage a country. These are their stories.